Good morning. Hello. Well, good morning. Still morning, I guess. It's 11 o'clock here in the central time zone. And the messy bun is doing its own thing today because thank you, humidity. Um, Hi, I'm Soul Coach Michelle, and this is Messy Bun Manifesting, my weekly show to support you in manifesting, well, in general, but as a coach, I specifically support woopreneurs and spiritual side hustlers and woopreneur wannabes to break the matrix, skip town on corporate, and create your own soul aligned income. That is what I do. And I do it from a different perspective. I'm not a business coach. I want to be really clear. I'm here supporting your leap. And then once you make your leap, supporting you as a woopreneur in your own energy. So that's a big difference. Like, yes, I give tools and stuff like that to get you in that practical mindset so you feel better about your leap. But I what I also do is connect you with other, I guess, more business coaches for the different things because there was a hole there when I was making my leap from corporate to my own solo line business, where it was like there was nobody there to hold my hand while I made the leap or to help me figure out what is my plan for this leap and all this other stuff. So that's what I do is I support people making that leap so that you can do that kind of thing. So, anyways, today, and plus in manifesting is one of those things where it's not just about your business, it's about you. You are your business, whatever that is, whether you're a creative or you're a healer, whatever your soul aligned thing is, you are that thing. So, supporting you is also what I do. And I think manifesting goes across the board. So, when we start thinking about it from the perspective of it's all energy, and we have to be in the right space in the right mind space for doing things, that's where I come in and I support you. And today we're going to talk about how do we deal with those limiting beliefs? Like that is something that comes up in everything. So I want to welcome you to my channel. I want to welcome all the new subscribers because I noticed this week we got an influx of people. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. And I hope this is supportive of you. So if you are here and you're on YouTube, go ahead and say hello. If you're live with me, if you are watching the replay, hashtag replay, and I will come back and say hello. That was the jingle. If you heard that, was my puppy of light buddy. He's just getting up to leave because I'm being too chatty. Apparently, my admin assistant buddy is thinking I'm too chatty. So, anyways, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here, and I'm just kind of pulling up my notes so I don't forget to talk about stuff today that I want to make sure I talk about. So, limiting beliefs, blocks. This is something you hear about all the time. Like, how do I deal with my limiting beliefs? How do I deal with these blocks? As if they are something that once we solve them, they will go away forever. I'm going to tell you and be truthful, unlike other people. um, there's like, the woo community, we talk about the onion peel and peeling away the layers. So think of it this way, like once you get through the one thing, you peel away the layer, there might be another thing there. And that's the journey of a woopreneur as well. It's very up and down. And that's why I'm going to give you some tips and tricks today to manage that stuff. And also how to navigate when we bump up against those blocks. So yes, there are the typical like woo responses, which are cord cutting and clearing your energy and all that kind of stuff. So that we can address another thing. And in fact, I actually have a circle that is a membership that's specifically what we do. We do clearings, we do energetic rechargings, we do intention settings. It's called the Celestial Soul Circle. And in fact, June is a free taster month. So if you're interested in seeing what that's all about, go to my website. At the menu at the top, it says Celestial Soul Circle. And if you click that, it'll take you to that page. And there's a little bit below the picture, there's a little sign up where you can join the next one, the events for that. I think the last one is up for now, and that is a new moon circle. It's a lunch and learn um, on the 16th of June, if you are watching this then. So if you have not signed up, go ahead and do that. Not right now, wait till the video's over. But we're going to talk about more practical because I always say there's the spiritual, the practical, and then no more BS. Like the glittered covered writing shit 55 times for 5 days. That does not work unless you want to hand cramp. So I don't make people do that. In fact, I'd rather give you tools that actually work if you use them And that's what I want to give you today. So instead of like talking about clearings, because you can go on Insight Timer and do a guided meditation for clearing, or you can come to our things and do the energetic recharging. Um, and I think everybody kind of knows that stuff. They also like a lot of times people, if your blocks and your limiting beliefs are like really deep, like they're from childhood trauma, highly recommend seeking out a clinical therapist in conjunction with a coach, because I think that kind of stuff is needed and very good. I love therapy, done my therapy myself. I have tons of people that I know that do therapy, and it's great. It gives a voice to what you need to speak about to get it up and out. Just to kind of, you know, put that out there, because yeah, there is sometimes where your blocks and your limiting beliefs come from some serious spaces. And if that's what's going on and you figure that out, it's like a real big T trauma. I want you to go ahead and seek out the help that you need. But if we're talking about stuff like little T trauma, or stuff that teachers and social programming have built into our beinghood in this human experience, that's what I'm going to address today, which is more of a generalized, here are some practical tips and tricks that I want to share with you that I think will help. Now, number one, I got three tips and tricks to help you overcome your limiting beliefs. And they're not going to be your general, like ones that you see all the time. It might sound a little bit different, but it's from a much more kind of spiritual, intentional, practical coaching perspective. So I'm a huge proponent of meditation. Huge. I meditate every single day. I do want to be really clear about something. When I was starting out, oh, by the way, this is tip number one. Tip number one, meditation. Um, so when I was starting out doing this journey and doing different certifications, so I don't put it out there, but I do have like an energy healing certification. And when I did that, and this is many years ago, um, the teacher was like, you need to meditate for 2 hours. I'm going to teach you how, blah, blah, blah. And I was still working in corporate. And I was like, how? Like, are you in reality? Like, for reals? Are you in reality? Because 2 hours a day, that would mean I'd have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And that, even though I am a morning person, I am not a night person. That is like the part of the morning I don't participate in, because I'm sleeping. And so for somebody to say to anybody, you need to do it 2 hours a day, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour at night, you have to do it this way, and blah, blah, blah. I feel like that can be overwhelming, scary, off putting. Like, I think people already see meditation as like, I'm not sure I can do this. And so for somebody to put it in this context of it has to be 30 minutes to an hour or more for it to work, and you got to do it here, and it's this way, that to me is so not helpful, because meditation is one of those things that it quiets the mind when we're real busy. It reconnects you to your inner being. It gives you the space to listen to yourself, because the world is a noisy place, and meditation gives you the quiet that I think we all need as human beings, of members of the earth versus members of the digital technology. um, it creates awareness, so that you are in awareness, and more easily can convert into observer mode. Instead of being in a situation that's stressful, you can step out and be like, okay, I can make decisions because now I'm over here. But I feel like if we are not meditating and not listening to ourselves and not really understanding how things work, that place we can't get to. So meditation is huge. Now, how do we do this if we're being told we have to do all this other stuff? I have different methods for you that are so much easier. So first of all, I want to talk about, and I wrote it down because I really liked how I put this. It's called, you have to, and my brain is moving faster than my mouth, so I apologize, because I'm like, blah, because I'm excited. So what does meditation do? And a lot of people will be like, they think meditation is like, I quiet my mind so much I have no more thoughts. And the fact is, you have between 60 and 70,000 thoughts a day. A day. So here's the thing. If you had no thoughts, you'd be dead, and you wouldn't be watching this video, and it wouldn't be an issue. So, from the perspective of the fact that you are a human being, you're going to have thoughts. Meditation is not about getting rid of all your thoughts and quieting your mind so much that there is nothing. Meditation is about strengthening your thought awareness muscle. I'm going to call it TAM for short. thought awareness muscle, TAM. So it's actually to strengthen your TAM. Now, what does strengthening your TAM do for you? It creates awareness of your thoughts. It shortens the time because I think when we're trying to manifest stuff, whether it be I want to manifest a soul aligned career income versus the soul sucking cube job I have, or I want to manifest selling my house. I know I'm harping on this subject right now. So if you're watching this in the future, the summer of 2023, we're trying to sell our house. And it's a very weird time in real estate. So I am trying to, stay in the whole concept of what I talked about in last week's video about motivation, staying in your manifesting motivation and saying to yourself, okay, this is where I'm at. What are we going to do? So to get to that place where instead of thinking all the time in this shit spiral about what the crappy situation that's going on, you have to be able to be in awareness to realize I am aware that I'm having that thought and that I'm also aware that that thought is not productive, whether it be in the physical world, because it might be taking up valuable mind space in your disk drive or your hard drive or whatever you want to call your brain, that could be dedicated to some other stuff, some other more valuable stuff, like creative thought, for instance. It also might be taking up too much room for your energy, where your energy is being focused. So when you're in awareness, you can say, oh, my energy is focused on a space that I don't want. I'm going to take back my control and direct it where I do want. But you can only do that when you're in awareness, and your TAM is strengthened through meditation. So how do we meditate if if we're supposed to do it 2 hours a day? That's crazy in my opinion, unless like you're a monk on a mountain. But in reality, in reality, I highly recommend doing at least a minute a day. And that's why I've created my meditation minute. If you go to the newsletter today, or if you're on the YouTube channel right now, or you can go to my YouTube channel, there is a playlist on the front page there called My Meditation Minute. And I'm slowly creating little meditation minute videos for you that are no longer than like 2 minutes. And you can meditate in 2 minutes. You can go in the bathroom at work and do the meditations. And that's why I'm also, the deck will be out in probably a month or two that accompanies those meditations. So you can meditate in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Everybody has 2 minutes to meditate and strengthen their thought awareness muscle. So that's tip number one is meditation and how to do that when we're busy people. Um, the second thing that I want to offer you as a tip for tamping down or managing limiting beliefs and blocks and feeling like, especially us woopreneurs, like there's that meme of the iceberg where the people really just see the top right, but it's like, yay, I'm celebrating. And the bottom is this ginormous thing of like, oh my God, what if people hate me? Oh my gosh, my monthly income is like this. All this kind of stuff that comes along with just part of doing what we do. And taking that leap and being brave in that space is the tip for kind of managing those limiting beliefs and blocks is to surround yourself with supportive sister woopreneurs or influencers. So I thought this was interesting. So, there's that saying about, you are the sum of the five people you hang around with and, or that you hang around with the most. And George Cow, who I love, he is just this lovely, conscious, very compassionate marketing guy. I just absolutely love him. And I love how he shares um, his tips and tricks and stuff for how to market a compassionate business. And it's George Kao, if you want to look him up. He's on Instagram a lot. And he has books and stuff like that. But, and he said something interesting too that was kind of a variation on that theme is that you you are your values, which if you've hung around me enough, you know that grounded, figuring out what your values are at any given time in your life, because they do sometimes change, um, and grounding into those has clinically in white papers proven that when you set intentions and goals that are aligned with your values, you're more likely to achieve them and manifest them. So he talks a lot about if you're follow the sum of the five influencers you follow for your business are really going to also kind of give you a hint to what your values are and how you do things and how you want to do things. Um, so those two things, I want to say that, surrounding yourself with that kind of support is important. So having like, five or six, like a little group of women that are also woopreneurs or spiritual side hustlers, that are doing the things. And maybe some of them might be, five steps ahead of you. Maybe someone is where you are. Maybe someone is like a step behind you. All of that is cool. But circling yourself up with other women who are doing the things like you, they're in the arena with you. Like when Brene talks about being in the arena with other people and then like people shouting at you from the cheap seats, right? So you want to be in a circle of people that are in the arena with you, getting it done, doing the things, because everyone's going to have up and down days, and those days are going to be different. So recently, like, through this whole developing the new card deck thing, I've had ups and downs, like, oh my God, is this good enough? Oh my gosh, are people going to like it? Is this going to be helpful? I mean, like, yeah, my clients tell me that what was it? Somebody said in the last two moon circles ago, from the celestial soul circle, somebody was like, "Oh, meditations were banging." And I've been told over and over and over again, that the meditations that I share that are actually channeled, I don't write them down anymore. They're just channeled. Um, that they're like on point. So creating a card deck around this, I was like, is this going to translate well? Having those up and down days and having those circles of other women. Now, they're not all developing card decks. They're not all like woopreneurs. I'm always like, there's traditional woopreneurs like me. It's like, hi, I do spiritual. I talk to spirit. I read the cards. I teach other people how to be successful woopreneurs and all that kind of stuff and help them move from corporate into their business and blah, blah, blah. And then there's non-traditional woopreneurs. Like I have a friend who is a creative, like she sews, she creates sewing kits for other people, she dyes her own fabric. She's freaking amazing. You probably have seen her stuff on here. She's at Thunderbird Farm, and it's Jenna Moyer. She's amazing. And she's a non-traditional woopreneur. And by that I mean she's not out there like doing energy healing. She's a spiritually based person, spiritually hearted woman, analytically minded, and taking her creative passion and putting it out there. That to me is non-traditional woopreneur. And then there's traditional woopreneurs like me. And oh, hey, Bren, like Bren, she goes out and she helps people like kind of reconnect with their inner soul and be okay with that and heal a lot of like energetically heal trauma and stuff like that. Um, but when you kind of realize what you are and you surround yourself with other women who are doing it, whether they're doing it in the real world or they're doing it online or both or whatever, but they get what you're doing, they get your business, and they're there and they're in your corner. They're none of this competition. It's a rising tide lifts all boats. So when I was starting to ask questions like, oh my gosh, am I doing this right? I need approval. Help me here. And they're like, they all circled around me and lifted me up. And I was like, okay, pushing the button to send everything and order those proofs. Now, 2 weeks later, another member of this circle that I run around with, was saying she had a hater come into her orbit and was like giving her shit about a new course she developed or a new concept in her business. And it was like it totally threw her off her game. And all of us circled around her and was like, girl, you have light. And I'm going to tell you guys this if you're feeling weird about it too. There is light within you that the world is dying to have. You would not be given it to share if you were not supposed to share it. And you know what? If you're dinging a hater, it's because they probably need the light, but they're resisting it. And then for every one hater, there's probably 10 other people that love you and are so grateful and haven't said anything. So keep going. And by the next day, she said, you know what? Thank you so much for that support in the circle. And I went to sleep. I slept on it. I got up. I felt a ton better and off I went. So surrounding yourself with fellow woopreneurs that really can support you and are really in your corner. They're not competitive with you. They're just there to support you. Everybody's on the same train going in the same direction. That's huge. Now, the other part that I was talking about, the 5 influencers, find people to follow on, say, Instagram, or people you like to read on Audible, like listening to stuff that helps your business or your life. Find the people that you resonate with. Like if you get like 2 chapters into a book and you're like, this is not my jam, do not keep reading that book. Do not. I'm going to give you permission to put that shit down, because if it doesn't jive with you on chapter 3, it probably ain't going to jive with you when you read it to the end. You're going to be like, oh, forget it. So find the influencers, whether it be, how people write, run their business, that kind of stuff, that's going to support you and kind of reinforce the values that you have, not make you nuts. Like there are people and gurus out there that are like, got 60 people helping them run their business, telling you all by yourself to do all the same things and be all on all the platforms and all the things, which can be incredibly overwhelming. So if you're starting to feel overwhelmed watching an influencer, switch channels. Okay. Give yourself permission to find people that move at the pace that you're at, because wherever you are at right now is perfect. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Your income is where it's supposed to be. The way you're doing things is exactly where it's supposed to be. And you will move at the exact right time. But finding folks that support you where you are and then also encourage you to move ahead without scaring the shit out of you. mm. So circle up with your 5 supportives in person, and circle up with following the people that you admire, that are where you want to go and doing things in a way that feel good for you. So tip number 1 is meditation. Tip number 2 is to surround yourself with at least 5 really great people that are fellow woopreneurs, and then follow 5 influencers that are really supportive. And then the third way to, kind of put a kibosh on those limiting beliefs and kind of set aside those blocks, um, are what I call sock away the accolades. So anytime you do work for somebody, whether it be your boss, if you're working in corporate, and say you can love your corporate job, it can be totally soul aligned. I have clients that love their corporate jobs. They serve them in that moment. And then I have people that are like, my corporate job is soul sucking. I gotta get out of here. So no matter where you are, whether you are in a corporate job or you're doing your spiritual side hustle or you're woopreneuring it up, I would say whenever somebody either posts on social, sends you an email, sends you a text, sends you a letter, I mean, whatever it is, these allergies today, y'all. Whatever it is, where they're saying like, "Oh my gosh, I so love this. This is so," whether, and it could be something like a painting, it could be something else you created, maybe a song, um, whatever your work is, like where you're helping someone, you're clearing their energy. Maybe you're an acupuncturist, maybe you're a coach or whatever. Like my favorite thing is sock away those accolades, whatever way they come to you. Copy them, put them in a folder. If you're more of a hard copy person, print them out and put them on a vision board and put them up somewhere. I have one friend who puts them in a folder. I have them in a Trello board. I'm a huge Trello board person. Where when you're feeling poopy, like, am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Because I feel like I'm not doing the things and I'm just having a really low day. You go to your accolade space, wherever it is. It might be the folder on like a file on your desktop, something, a list on your Trello board. Go and pull up those testimonials, because that's what they are. They're testimonials, and testimonials have kind of come to this, business thing, like where it's like social proof. But think of what a testimonial is. It is like a testament. It is a sacred joining, like where somebody's like, "Amen, you are doing awesome." Pull those out and read them to remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing, because that's where your light has been received. That's where people are like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that you do what you do, because now I'm healing because of it. I'm healing and I feel better and this is great." Like my favorite thing from the last moon circle we did in the celestial soul circle was somebody said during the group, "This was fucking amazing." And I'm like, "I'm gonna write that down." And I put it in a newsletter. And I wrote it down because I thought, "Ah, man, it takes like," because people, when they are excited about stuff and they're excited to receive whatever light you're sharing and however it is being shared, you are giving their soul medicine, and they are saying thank you. And then you can come back to that at some time in the future when you're kind of like, am I healing and giving and sharing like I'm supposed to be? Because right now I'm feeling pretty poopy about things. You can be reminded of how your light lifted somebody else up and thusly lift you up. Okay. So those are the 3 tips that I want to share with you today. And I know it's not really traditional when we talk about limiting beliefs and blocks to do the things that I said, but here's my thing. you got a bunch of different places you can go that talk about breaking limiting beliefs and blocks and all that kind of stuff. And I know all those, and you know them too. Clearing your energy, right? Not hanging around shitty people, right? Um, you know, getting on focus mate and moving forward, hiring a coach, joining the celestial soul circle so you can do all that stuff. That's there too. So we all know that. I wanted to give you maybe some ideas that are not exactly what normally is said. So meditation, huge. I'm going to encourage meditation. You'll hear me. You will be so sick of me saying meditation if you work with me. I'm like, did you meditate today? Oh my God, I'm so crazy. Okay, did you meditate today? And meditation could be there. So you can Google walking meditation, yoga nidra meditation, transcendental meditation. I am big on the minute meditation. So, like I said, you can find those on my YouTube channel under my meditation minute. So meditation's number one. The second thing is surrounding yourselves with people that lift you up when you need it and that you can lift up in turn, because I'll tell you what, helping when I felt lost and they lifted me up, I felt great. But what was so interesting was when another person in that circle was not feeling super awesome and I got to lift her up, that felt even better. So no, like, and if the goal is to feel good, like it's not about I'm going to manifest a car so I have to focus on the car. It's I want a new car. Wouldn't it be nice to have a new car? I know what kind of car I like, and I'm just gonna allow the universe to bring it to me. And I can't think about how I don't have it in the absence. So what am I gonna do instead? I'm gonna feel good about just about everything in my life because I want to create a sense of gratitude, lightness, and love. And that kind of energy is attractive for anything on your vision board. So if I can help somebody else out to feel good and then I feel good, and it doesn't even have to do with the new car, that's actually helping you manifest the stuff that you want. So that's why surrounding yourself with people that can support you and you can support them is huge. And then following the influencers that make you feel good, that lift you up, that give you the ideas that feel like you can do them in whatever space you are. And you may switch up your influencers as you elevate or shift your business. So understand that surrounding yourself with like-hearted people that are supportive is huge. And then lastly, like I said, socking away those accolades that um, remind you of that purpose that drives you and why you do it and how much you do help people, reminding you how much your light is needed and how much it has helped people in the past and will continue to help people, which is why you got to keep going, right? So those are the three things that I wanted to share with you, and I hope that they are supportive of you. Now, here's the cool thing. So I do want, make some announcements really quick. So again, June is a taster month for the Celestial Soul Circle, where we do moon circles and do more of, if you are a woopreneur, spiritual side hustler, woopreneur wannabe, you're always the head of the circle wherever you're working, wherever you're doing your work, whether you're being a creative, you're being a healer, whatever. And this is a place for you not to be the head of the circle. It's a place for you to come to get your energy cleared, to get your energy recharged, all that kind of stuff happening for you. And the more we grow, the more we'll expand into other stuff for specifically groupreneurs, spiritual side hustlers, and all that kind of stuff. Like I have ideas, but we got to go grow the group first. So that new moon, which is the last event that's going to be free for this month, the new moon circle, as part of that celestial soul taster, is on Friday, June 16th. The new moon is actually on at 11:30 at night on the Saturday, which I love y'all, but I'm not doing night stuff. Not that late anyways. So what we're going to do, because I have other obligations, is Friday, the day before. I like to do it in that 3-day time frame beforehand so that you can do your ritual on your own if you like, or you can utilize the group as your ritual because you're still in that energy. So we're going to do a lunch and learn that day at 11 Central Time on Zoom. You can totally sign up for free right now. There is a membership if you want to continue to join afterwards, but come and sign up for free and join us for the new moon intention settings. It's Gemini, so lovely communications. We might have to do things twice, but it's totally cool. Or we have choices, lots of choices. So come and join that new moon. You can find that either below. If you go to my website, it'll say Celestial Soul Circle. If you click that and scroll down, there's a registration specifically for that June new moon circle. Another reminder, if you're watching this June 20th, 23, I am doing readings at 25% off, 1-hour readings. So make sure you grab your spot, limited spots. they're I think I've already got 3 people just like bum bum bum, and it's only what's today, the 6th? I don't even know what today is. But anyways, 167, which is, and you don't need a code or anything. Just go ahead and grab your spot. And then if you are interested in working with me, if you're in that space of I want to make the leap from the corporate thing either into a more soul aligned corporate work, or into that, like, I want to be in my own business. How do I do that? How do I plan for it? What do I do? And like we do it from a spiritual energy perspective, getting your energy aligned and kind of clearing the way for that. We do it from a practical perspective, which I talk about that I did, which is making a leap list, creating your plan of exit, your extraction, escape from the cube kind of thing, putting stuff in place. Because I mean, the questions I had when I did it were really big, like health insurance. Um, how much money do I need to sock away? What do I need to have in place before I go so I feel good, both personally and professionally? What are some resources I can use to lean on in the areas where I'm weak? Like I'm not an accountant. My mother is one. I did not get those genes. At least, I had some blockages there. And, I found a way to make my accounting fun and exciting versus scary and overwhelming. And I think a lot of people have that challenge when we're in the healing arts like this or the creative arts. Um, so if that's you, and you're ready to make that leap and you want somebody to walk that journey with you and give you some tips and encouragement and support and thought partnering around that, let's talk, because I am that coach for you. So go ahead and you can go to the website and click the curiosity call and we will talk about it. But that's it. That's all I got for today. So remember your 3 tips: meditation, surrounding yourself with really awesome people that are in your corner, and lastly, socking away those accolades so that you have them to read later. And I hope this has helped you, maybe give you some tips and new things to think about in how to navigate those limiting beliefs and blocks so that we can get rid of them for now, or at least quiet them down enough so you can move forward. Because, like, if they keep that music inside you, no one's going to hear it. And man, do we need that in the world today. I mean, really, there are people out there waiting to hear the music that is within you. Whether that as an acupuncturist, as someone who creates healing stuff for other folks, whether you're doing readings, whether you're creating art and selling it and creating it for others, whatever it is that lights your soul up, people need that light today. Don't let a blocker and a limiting belief hold you back. Do the things that I'm sharing and the other things that you know to do to make sure that you are showing up 100% for yourself and those you support. Okay. I love you so much. I hope to see you in the new moon circle on the 16th. And if you're watching this in June of 2023, otherwise, um, I will see you next time. And until then, I'll see you in the vortex. I love y'all so, so, so much. Mwah. Have a great rest of your week. Bye, y'all.